I'm starting a new video. I might say I'm droning on a bit, but I just want to remember it. If you don't watch it, that's fine. I think I'm covering it pretty well. I'm assuming I'm going to have quite a few hours worth of videos. But yeah, in 5 years I'll watch them. I might even turn it off myself if I get annoyed with it, but who knows. Now I sat there, this group, right? Now there was 3 guys inside this group, and so I probably had about 130 people go through that campsite, and there was only about 8 people that were arseholes. They act like arseholes a little bit. So I'm going through the first 3. Now I sat there, and there's a tall guy, a small muscly guy, and a big muscly guy. Right, now he sat there, and he sat there, let's bring this in a bit so you can see the, let's go back out a bit, screw it. Yeah, now the tall guy sat there and decided to light a fire, what I thought was too close to my tent, too close to my boat. Right, so I went up to him and said, it wasn't that close, but it was close enough if they made it too big. Right, that's what I was worried about. And I went over to him and said, look mate, don't make that fire too big. I just want you to, just be careful on my boat. Right, and he sort of looked up as if he went, oh yeah, oh, well this is if you didn't see it. Like this, I'm like, mate, fucking, it's bright blue, it's right there. How did you freaking, because that's exactly how he looked. That's how he looked. I'm going to spin this around, I feel like I won't do anyone. It feels like I'm talking to someone when I see myself in the camera, in the video, so I can see my screen. Now, I sat there, and if I see anything, I'll point it out, I'll show you, but, I'll show you a couple of times. I don't know if you're sick of seeing it or not, or sick of seeing my mug, I don't know. But anyway, so the tall guy sits there and does that, and he goes, yeah, no, I won't make it too big, in the end. And I went, yep, no worries. And he didn't, he done all right with that, so that was pretty good. But then the big muscly guy, as I went to walk off, the big muscly guy, sits there and he goes up, what did he fucking want? Like, and in that tone of voice too. It wasn't just, oh, what did he want? He went, what did he fucking want? Like this. And I turned around and said, mate, I'm just telling him not to make the fucking fire too big, eh? Right, that's it. Keep your fucking nose out of it. It's got nothing to fucking do with you. And, because he's like, like a muscly sort of bodybuilder sort of dude. He starts puffing his chest out a little bit. And I said, mate, don't puff your chest out. Nothing's going to happen here. Just keep your fucking nose out. It doesn't belong, something that doesn't concern you. Right, that's it. You just didn't have to butt your nose in. And, I just sort of walked off. I don't even know what he finished off saying after that. I've got people on this houseboat. Now, I sat there and that was over and done with. And the tall guy didn't really make the fire too big either, so that wasn't too bad. They did play a lot of loud music and have chopping wood late at night. Right, they did that the first night, then they did it the second night, and I had a crack at them after the second night of doing it. Right, I didn't think they'd do it 2 nights in a row. So after the second night, I said, don't do it again. Right, I told them, don't do it again, because I get up at 6 o'clock, 6:30 every morning. When the cockers wake me up, I'm up. I'll bang my pots and pans in front of your tent. I don't give a shit. Right, I will freaking do it if you do that again. Right, and it just happened to be that this would have been on the Friday. I remember that because they sat there and disappeared. Most group people leave on the Sunday. Most of the group actually left on the Saturday instead. And they'd been there for 4 or 5 days, but most of the group left on the Saturday. There was only a few people, and I mean only a few people, 2 families, that stayed through till the Sunday. So, and they said, oh, look, we're going home tomorrow. We're not going to have the fire tonight anyway. I said, okay, whatever. You know what the deal is. If you decide to do it, just don't make the noise. You can have music, just don't have it too loud. And don't chop wood. Do that during the day. You got all day to do it. Don't do it at night time. And no worries. And I just walked off on them again. Now, that was fine. No issues with that. Now, they sat there and also, the small muscly guy in his freaking, because they had jet skis as well. Had boats and jet skis. Now, I've had boats. Now, my fishing area at that spot was up the river about sort of 50 metres, 100 metres maybe. Probably about 100 metres. And I had a tree on our side of the river. On my side of the river, on the Victorian side. I had a tree fallen in, and it covered literally half the river. Right? It was across half the river. So anyone that had to go past on the New South Wales side across the river. Right? So no boats going anywhere near my lines, which was really good. It gave me a good little alcove. I got a young kid up here. I'll give him a wave. I think he went up there deliberately to say hello. There you go, mate. He was about 10, 12. Yeah, so I sat there and so I had a nice little spot to go fishing where boats couldn't get too close to my thing. Now this clown, this small bodybuilder, sits and decides to do donuts on his jet ski right inside that little alcove area I had. Right, it was just fucking hell, man. Like this, and I yelled out to him, fuck off, do your donut somewhere else. And that's all I wanted him to do, right? But then he starts going up and down, revving as he goes past, and staring at me, right? Over on the New South Wales side, yeah, he's going backwards and forwards, what do you call it? Staring at me. Going past, out past the, not about a setup they've got there either. It's quite a big one. Going past doing that. And I said, you fucking prick, man, you fucking prick. Because I knew he thought I was telling him not to use his jet ski. And I wasn't saying that, I was just saying, don't do your donuts here. Right in fact, look, I'm fishing out there, my rod's out there, that's where he's doing the donut. Instead of up there, You know, so I sat there and told him, fuck off, do your donut somewhere else. I don't think he heard me properly, he starts staring at me, blah, blah, blah. So he gets off the thing about 15 minutes later, and I sort of stopped fishing about half an hour later, because I was getting bites while boats are going past on the other side of the river, but after that, I just got nothing. He completely scared all the fish off, even the small ones. You know, because I can use the small ones in my shrimp nets and get bait and get yabbies, get shrimp and stuff like that. I use shrimp as bait. I use the small shrimp as bait for fishing, and I should have. When I get to a camp spot, I don't know. I'll keep going. Now, I sat there and used the small shrimp for bait and used the big shrimp for eating, right? And yeah, all the yabbies, I ate all the yabbies. Anything was big, I didn't use yabbies as bait. I didn't want a fish that big that a yabby would do it. Even small yabbies were quite big as far as bait goes. So I just, any yabbies that were too small to eat, I just sort of got rid of. That's fine. Now, I sat there and, like I said, I fished for about another half an hour, 45 minutes after he'd done his donuts. I got not one single bite after that. Not one single one. I mean, nothing at all, right? So I stopped my fish and I said, you fucking prick, you fucking prick, you fucking prick. And so I sat there and saw him on the bank and I said, you fucking prick, like that. I said, and he goes, you can't, and look, before I got a chance to start really saying anything, he goes, you can't tell me to stop using my jet ski on the river. I said, I fucking knew it, like this. And that's exactly, I would imagine that's exactly how I did it too. I sat there and I fucking knew it, like this. I didn't tell you to not use your jet ski. I said, there's 100 boats on the fucking river. I said, don't do your donuts in front of me. I said, you got fucking 1,000 kilometres of river that way, you got 1,000 kilometres of river that way. I want 50 metres of the fucking thing. Okay, do your donuts somewhere else. I didn't tell you to stop going past. This is fucking arsehole. You act like a fucking arsehole. I said, I'll let you stay in my spot, and now I can't catch a fish. I'm not going to eat tonight because you fucked up. Right? I said, if you fucking do it again, there's going to be fucking problems. I fucking mean it. Like this. And I was actually like that. And the tall guy had done it a little bit close too. And I said, that goes for you too. You got a little bit close last time as well. And that was like a day before, 2 days before. And I said, you got a little bit close too. I said, just give me don't do any donuts this side of the beach. All right? Do them up there somewhere, do them up there. I've got no issue with you going past. I say, but you fucking do it again, there is going to be fucking problems. I mean it. Absolutely fucking mean it. All right? And that's all I said to them. And I just sort of walked off. I was fucking angry, man. I was really, really rapeable. It's the only time I've been angry the whole trip. Actually, no, twice, actually. Actually, 3 times. I think they're all justified. Is that it? Have I got a, hang. I'll get a bit closer. I don't think it'll be too bad. It looks like there's a fork in the river. Just give me 2 seconds. I've got to check something. I'm going to pause it. What are we at, 8 minutes? I'll just pause. Yeah, it should be alright, I think. It doesn't look like I should have anything to worry about. It looks like it goes around that way. Yeah, so I sat there and had a crack at these guys. Now, the lady, actually, I forgot, the guy that gave me the sausages, he had to go into town. Now, my inverter broke there. I've got an inverter that plugs into the battery, so you can plug in wall sockets into it, right? So you can go from battery power to wall socket power, right? It's AC to DC or whatever. Good band. Or DC to AC or something, whatever it is, you know. So DC to AC, I think it is. So yeah, I brought one of those. Now that broke. I think that was a bit my fault. I feel like I'm not quite in the middle. That's a bit better. That broke. I think it was my fault. I think I used it when it was too hot one day and it burnt out. Now I had to get a fuse for it. That didn't work. And one of the guys that was at the campsite, because a lot of these groups were from Echuca anyway, so they used to go into town all the time. So can you get me one of those fuses here? And no worries, we'll have a look. So they got me one, got it, didn't work. So the inverter was stuffed. Now Siggo's going to light this. I sat there and tried to act like an electrician, right? So I sat there and, that feels a bit better. I feel like I'm cutting off half my head. That's perfect. I got a fishing boat. Now I sat there and, I think these guys are part of the group that's in the houseboats. I just went past. Now I sat there and, the inverter didn't work. So what I did was, I just hooked up the actual, because it's like a lighter socket, a lighter plug socket for your car. It's one of those at one end, and just the you got a box that's got the actual wall plug on the other side of it, right? Now I bypassed all the guts of it and just wired it straight into the actual plug itself. I didn't think it'd work. In fact, I 100% knew it wasn't gonna work, but I still tried it just in case, and it didn't work. So don't laugh, Siggo. But I did redeem myself because, and I reckon he jinxed me. There was a guy, the guy that gave me, the guy's wife that gave me the food, he gave me a couple of lamps, because I talked about living off batteries and all that sort of stuff, and the inverter was still working at that stage, right? I talked about having to, recharge batteries and all that sort of stuff, and he goes, oh, hang on a second. So he went through his caravan, he'd already told me that he was selling his caravan off, right? And he dragged a couple of these really old lamps out that you can plug directly into the battery. So they're actually like a, just a plugged into like the lighter socket, so you can use it in your car, you can use it in your, can you see me wobbling? That's because of the boat that went past. I don't get seasick. I do get seasick out in the ocean, but it's got to last. The rockiness has got to last. If that lasted half an hour, then I'd be knackered, I reckon. I'm a little bit worried about Lake Alexandrina, because I reckon that could be a problem. A couple of guys fishing. I don't know if they're looking at me. No, they didn't wave back. So yeah, they're not looking at me, or actually it looks like they caught something. I don't know. Don't matter. Now, so yeah, so I bypassed the internals of that box and threw the box out basically because it was knackered. The actual components inside were broken. So yeah, so I didn't have an inverter. Now this old guy sat there and gave me a lamp, 2 lights that run off the battery power, that run off the battery. Now he'd sat there and literally 2 or 3 days after, and it is that close, no exaggeration, not even a full week, literally 2 or 3 days afterwards, that's when my inverter broke. So I got those just in time, because then I was worried about having batteries last the full time, because I had 20 odd batteries, and they're rechargeable, but they do pre-charge rechargeable batteries now, which I didn't know they did. I thought I was knackered, but I seen on the packet it was pre-charged. So they're already charged, they're fully charged. Well, I don't know if they're fully charged, but they're charged enough. They were charged enough for me to use it. Not that I've used the AAAs, they're in one of my torches, but I haven't used the AAs yet. So that didn't end up being a problem anyway. I don't think I was going to have an issue through winter. But what I also did, was, I don't know if that's a boat or a bird, right up further. Oh, it's a paddler. It's a kayaker. That's why I couldn't tell, because I could see the white bits moving around. It sort of looks like a pelican from back here, but a very big pelican, size of a kayak with a person in it. Now, I sat there and I got those lights off him, and I redeemed myself with Siggo because one of them had 2 clips on it, 2 plugs to be able to plug into the battery, and one of them had none. So what I did was I took the clips off took one of the clips off it and put it on the other one, or one of the plugs off the one that had 2 on it, and put it on the other one, so I made 2 separate ones. So then I could sit there and actually have 2. Had the main one I used, which was like a fluoro lamp, and the other one was like a set of LED lights, a strip of them. So they were both very bright, very good to use. Didn't end up needing them. I think I got rid of the strip of lights, but I think I still got the strip of lights might actually be in here. Could be in that box. Because that's where I kept it, because they're on a roll, like a reel-to-reel tape in the old days. So I had to keep them in here to keep them nice and flat, and keep them look after them a bit. I didn't have really many spots so I could put it without it getting destroyed. Especially in and out of a canoe while I was paddling. Now I sat there and literally about 2 to 3 days after that, that's when my inverter broke. And I kid you not, he gave them to me because he was selling the caravan up after the trip anyway. He'd already told me that. So he said, everything that's in the caravan will go with it, so you might as well have that. It's not going to add any value to the caravan, you might as well have them, and that'll help you out. Oh, cheers, mate. So that was good. That was really, really good. I got the new fuse. I popped the fuse straight away. So I redeemed myself a Ziggo with the with having the hook one plug up, one of the two plugs from the fluoro one to the strip, and made it into two separate ones that I could sort of both of them had their own plug then. So that was good. Ziggo would love that. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not really, but yeah. Now, I sat there, so that was that. Now, what was I talking? Oh, this group. Now, this group left. Lights, what was I talking about? What about 15 minutes? So I told you about the jet skiers. I told you about them doing that. So that's about it there. Now, these jet skier guys, right, on their way out on the Saturday, they sat there and told me that they were going to come back on the Wednesday. They said, oh, how long are you going to be here? As I was driving out, and I sat there and said, oh, yeah, I'm going to be here at least another couple of weeks, because this was only about sort of just after New Year's, and I was going to need a couple more weeks just to just for the boats, maybe another week or so. And he sits there and goes, oh, we're coming back Wednesday. I'm going, oh, fuck, like this. I said, yeah, no worries, mate, not a problem, like that, as I drove out, and I sort of turned around going, fucking hell, thanks for the warning, like this. Now, I didn't tell them either then or when they came back on Wednesday, and they did come back. It was the tall guy and the small bodybuilder guy. They came back past me. They came back on the Wednesday with two girlfriends, I'm assuming. Two girls. So I'm assuming they're girlfriends. Now, they came back on the Wednesday, and the rule still stood, making a lot of noise. I'm going to ban them pots and pans. Now, they sat there and made a bit of noise on the Wednesday night, but it wasn't too bad. And it stopped at about 9:30. Now, it was it. Now, so, that's all right. I'm happy with that. So I didn't do it. But then on the Thursday, I went out into town, or went somewhere. They left camp at about mid-arvo, and did whatever they did, and I came back pissed as maggots. The two girls were, at least, anyway. I don't know if the guys were. I was already in my tent, so I couldn't actually see them, but you know what giggly drunk girls sound like, you know? So that's what they sound like. So they made a hell of a noise, absolute a racket. I didn't get to sleep until about 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up again about 2, and they'd gone to bed. So they'd gone to bed in between 1 and 2 o'clock, roughly. Now, 6:30 in the morning, I get up, bang on pots and pans. Bang, 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 bang. Like I said, the rule still stood. I didn't tell them. I just wanted to see what they do. Because they're from East Melbourne. They're like Ringwood way. I'm not saying that because it's Ringwood or whatever. I'm just saying that's just where they're from. The Melbourne people, they've got, you know, country people, a lot of respect. A lot of I won't say every Melbourne person, please. I won't say every Melbourne person. But a lot of Melbourne people just don't respect. No, they don't give a shit. In fact, I think they come out so they can make noise so they don't have neighbours. I don't know, that's the feeling I get. I come to the bush for nice and peace and quiet. You get away from the city to get peace and quiet, and they're coming from the city to make more noise. I just don't get it at all. I've never gotten over the whole time I've been on the river. It's happened a few times. You know, not in my camp necessarily, but in other camps next to me, near me, you can hear it. New Year's Eve, it happened, didn't worry. You know, big day, whatever, it's New Year's Eve trip. He's not even going to acknowledge. How you go, mate? Just a nice paddle? Just having a nice paddle? Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Sorry? Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, not too hot. It's perfect, no wind. Yeah, have a good one, mate. Oh, God, not too talkative. That's all right. Oh, actually, I think I stopped him because he's going against the current at the moment. But he's only got a small kayak and he's on his own. So he's only got about 100 kilos worth to try and paddle up. You can go against the current if you don't have too much. In fact, I reckon even like that Amy Online or Andrew Roberts, I reckon they could go against the current with all their gear. I reckon they could go against the current. It'd be slow. It'll take them twice as long. But I reckon they could go against the current with the gear they got and the setup they got. And how rowing fit they are. I'm not really, even now, I've been paddling for about a month straight. I'm not going to count the earlier paddles because I paddled for a few days and stopped and paddled for a few days. But I've been literally paddling pretty much every day for the last month. In fact, I should find out what day I actually left. I can never remember what day I left. I think it was early, very, very early March. So I've been paddling for pretty much a month now, a month and a week. So I'll suggest for 40 days, but I haven't paddled every single day. I've had days off here and there. I think I've had about 4 days off, actual days off, 3 or 4 days off. So it's slow going. Now, so these group came back, they made the noise on the Thursday night, and I sat there, what are we at, 19 minutes. I came into about half an hour, so I don't too long to think there. Now, I sat there and I sat there and banged the pots and pans at 6:30 in the morning. Right, I got up, well, whatever time it was, I woke up, sunlight, cockies woke me up, so I got there, and it would have been about 6:30. I would bang, 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 like this, right outside their tents. Right, you could hear them grumbling and carrying on and whatever. So, I'm really close to town, actually. Ooh. I got here a bit quicker than I thought I would. I didn't think I'd get here until about 12 o'clock, but it's only 10 o'clock. I either covered more distance last night than I thought I would, or I paddled today quicker than I thought I would. Because I thought it was going to take me about lunchtime to get there. Oh, I'm not there yet. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to get my map out. Actually, just give me 2 seconds. I'll just spin her in this way, so I'll spin the other way and start heading towards the middle of the river instead of the edge of the river. Alright. Yeah, that old guy didn't seem too cool talking. He seemed quite old though. He looked like he was about, the way he was talking and looked, he looked about 80. I wasn't close enough to tell. Alright, so that's saying it's 2:56, so we're about there. It looks like it could be pretty close to where it should be now. So that's a brand new sign. So I reckon the old signs are in the wrong spot. Because now it's starting to look like what the map looks like. Down in front, I've got a bend that goes around there. So if I show you, I've got that bend there, right? And that's what it looks like in front of me. Oh, I've got people behind me. Freaking hell. And I'm right in the middle of the river. Shit. I'll turn around straight and let them get past. Right, so I just have to stay here now. I'm not going to move. I'll let them get around me and do what they have to do. Now, Swan Reach, 49, so I've got 7 k's to go. So yeah, it is going to be close to lunchtime. Now you're going to see, now I am a little bit further across than I should be, so it's a bit my fault. But these guys don't slow down. As you can hear there, didn't slow down at all. Now it's a long way across, and I'm quite in the middle, so this time it is actually my fault. But yeah, they still should have slowed down a little bit. And now they slowed down after I've gone past me. No. It's a case of, and it's actually not too bad. I'm saying a small boat, so it's not too bad. But you're going to see me sort of rocking again. Rocking. If the boat's not rocking, don't come a knocking. Because a lot of wake, a lot of water. Right, so these guys, let's get back to the thing. So I've got about 7 k's till we get to town. So that's roughly, that's going to take me close to 2 hours. So it is going to be lunchtime, I was right. I thought I was only about 3 or 4 k's out of town, but a little bit further than I thought I was. That's alright. That's alright. Now I sat there and these guys, so I banged my pots and pans. I didn't wait for them to get out of their tents or ask them whatever. Sorry, bit of heartburn. I sat down and just walked off. As soon as I got up, I just walked off. As soon as I did the pots and pans thing, I just walked off, went down, started fishing. Now I got back about sort of, I don't know, a bit later, a couple of hours later, whatever. And the girls came over. Right now, the guys watched them. I went over. I sort of looked at them. I looked at them quickly as I went up the bank, and then sort of just ignored them, whatever. And they sort of looked at me, and then the girls started coming over. Right now, I looked at the guys, and the guys watched the girls walking over. Now, I don't know if they knew why the girls were coming over, but they should have been smart enough to tell them not to come over. Right? I never had a crack at the girls. I did a little bit. But the girls came over and said, oh, what was the deal with the noise? What'd you make all that noise in the morning for? Like that, you know. And I turned around and said, you go ask them. I said, these guys watched you walk over. If they know why, they should have been smart enough to tell you why I made that noise. All right, so you go ask them. Right, and then, and then I went on this fucking rant, man. I sat there, went on this rant and said, I don't know what you're doing hanging around, because they were really nice guys. I'd spoken to them a few times over the weekend, over the time that they were there. And not the weekend, but just a couple of days I was there. And they were really nice girls, really, really nice. Seemed really respectful and this and that and everything else and whatever. And I turned around and said, I don't know what you guys are doing with these clowns. I sat there and said, you just seem so much more respectful than those idiots. I said, if they're your boyfriends, you're wasting your life with them, I reckon. You're just not going to get anywhere with them. They're just idiots. Like that. And they sat there and going, oh, like that. I said, look, I don't mean to sound rude, I apologise a little bit for this part of it. I said, but for saying this, but that's there it is. They're morons. And that was it. And they sort of like that. And I said, yeah, look, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's it. You ask them why. And I don't know, about 2 hours later, they sort of came back and said, oh, look, we're sorry. They told us why and we're sorry. So they hadn't told them. Now, I don't know, I still don't know if the guys knew why the girls were coming over in the first place. But they came over and said, oh, look, we're sorry. I said, see, you guys will come over and apologise. So they know, and this is what I'm talking about. That's what I said to the girls. I said, this is what I'm talking about. They know why I did the pots and pans. They know that I told you about it, and you've come over and apologised, and they haven't got the fucking balls to come over and apologise. Right, that's what I told you. They're a waste of space. They're a fucking waste of space. Freaking morons. I've got no respect for anyone else that's around them. I let them stay in my camp spot. And this is what I told the girls. I said, I'll let them stay in my camp spot. I could have gone fuck off, go somewhere else. Right? I said, I'll let them stay in this camp spot. And they've done that. Right? Made me not get some sleep. And all that sort of stuff. So, and they haven't even come over to apologise. They're just, that's arrogant. Just arseholes. I said, they're fucking arseholes. I don't know what you're doing wasting your time with them like that. And that's what I haven't heard. I mean, no loss of words, really. I said, I'm not having a go. You guys are really nice girls. You're really, really nice girls. I said, you're just wasting your time with them. Mark my words, you remember in a couple of years' time, if you get to a point, you sit down and remember what I just said to you. Okay? And I turned around and said to them, please don't turn out like them. And that's one thing I did say to them. I said, don't turn out like them. I said, stay respectful. Stay the way you are. I don't blame you because you were drunk, you were mucking around and all that sort of stuff. But they knew. And even afterwards, they know that I told, they know what happened, with you now, with talking to me, and they still haven't got the balls to come over and say, to apologise. They either don't think they need to, which they do, or they haven't got the balls to do it. Either way. They're either cowards or arseholes. One or the other. And that's the sort of the whole rant I went on with them. I mean, I think I explained it longer than the actual rant went. But, and the girls just sort of left, and I said, yeah, thank you. And they said goodbye when they left. They left that day. They left later on that day. I don't know if they were meant to have, or whether it was because of what happened. But they left that day, like the whole group. That's that group done. That took a little bit longer, but I showed you a couple of things, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, next bit. All right, what have we got? This is going to take a little bit longer, so I might stop it here. This is really fucked up. I'll be back.